one thing I would really like to do with YouTube is... What do I want to do? Oh, come on. Yeah. Wow, I bet you're so glad to be watching this now. One thing I want to do is just a few and far between sort of disability related videos. I am not having a flare up right now. This is like, I am not particularly feeling all that bad. I am relatively okay. But when I'm not like reading from notes and when I'm not editing and saying lines multiple times, then this is how I will probably on a daily basis ordinarily sound. I have a really hard time trying to get the thoughts out of my head and put them into words. Sometimes I will forget what I'm saying while I'm saying it. I'll start off with a sentence and then I'll forget the word and then I'll forget what I've just said. But apparently, according to the DWP, the people who basically what's the word? Decide how much, the people who decide how much your disability is worth. For example, I am on the kind of lowest rate, so I get like a living allowance, but despite not being able to walk anywhere and not being able to leave the house without my mum, who does have a blue badge, apparently I do not qualify for one. So, which means that I just can't go anywhere without it, or I can't go anywhere with friends. Obviously we can't now, but back in the day when socialising was a thing, I still couldn't go out with friends really because I didn't have that one thing that would make it easier. Because they always insist, like they do with most people, that I'm not that bad. And what was I talking about? There's a point to this. Oh, bloody hell. What was the point? Oh yeah. Fitting. Oh my god, this is a disaster. One of the things that they insisted I do not have is problems with memory. Which is infuriating. They insisted that I didn't have difficulty breathing despite having an inhaler, because apparently in the hour that we sat down and talked, I was not running out of breath, which is ridiculous. That's like saying a healthy person isn't running out of breath while sitting there talking, and so that means that they wouldn't run out of breath after running a marathon. How stupid is... I'm in downtime, and there is nothing triggering my asthma. Who are you to then say that means I don't have it? And the weirdest part of that entire thing was when they did a physical like thing where they like get you to like move and they examine you. And they said the only thing that they said was that my right leg was a bit stiff, which is so weird to me because my entire body, my right leg, is actually the best part of me. That's so good. So I can't lift my left arm. I can lift my right arm, not fully, but more. I could pretty much lift my right leg to about where you would expect a non-flexible person to move it, but my left leg just, like, I can't even get it off the like seat thing that they had you lay on. I can't turn it, I can't, do any of that, and the only takeaway was that it was my right leg that was giving me a little bit of difficulty, which is so weird because that's the best part of me. And I think after those kinds of assessments, I always come away thinking that, especially since my doctors are not great either, and up until I was 12 years old they insisted that it was growing pains. In fact, I remember this one instance where they said that I'd stopped growing and that my issue was growing pains in the same in the same conversation. I've not had the best track record of medical people believing me. They always like to downplay it, and then I have those assessments, and she even let me out of the fire exit because I was having difficulty walking. And yeah, apparently I was not having difficulty walking. Another thing that infuriates me is the fact that around the house we have things we have bars in the bathroom and we have banisters, which a lot of houses have. We only had one. We had to have another one put in. My mum has the same issue I do, and so on paper they were put in for her, which means that legally speaking I do not need them. Like, how stupid is that? If my mum didn't have them put in, I would have had them put in. What do they want us to put them in twice? Like, we both need to use the same things, but because on paper, council people came in to put them in for my mum, which means that they don't count for me, despite the fact that I need to use them. But because they're for my mum and not me, that means that I don't need to use them. Only my mum is allowed to use the banisters. So it does not go on my record that I need aids around the house because we already have them put in. So that's stupid. And another thing was that I didn't need help getting out of a chair. Despite the fact that I did need help getting out of the chair because I needed to hang on to my mum to get out of the chair. But apparently my mum doesn't count as an aid to help get out of a chair, so that doesn't count either. The point is, after all these assessments and then after reading the report, I always feel awful, like clearly I'm not actually as bad as I make myself out to be. And clearly I get it wrong in my head and whatnot. So I think for my own peace of mind, make a few videos like these, like unedited, so that I can hear myself talk without editing out all the gaps and re-recording lines, so like I can then hear back how I actually sound ordinarily without even a flare up. This is not a fatigue flare up. This is ordinary day-to-day speech. I think I officially enrolled at university, and one of the things that was said was group projects and how I may need to spend a few hours on the phone with other people, and it's like, that's not a thing that I can do. And so yeah, I think I for my own peace of mind, would very much like to be able to go back and listen to myself and know that no, I am actually I do actually have these issues. I think I in the future would quite like to do some what's the word when you've got the thing and you're thinging, travel vlogs whenever I need to go out, so that I can record what happens and I can look back on it and think, wow, yes, I really did have trouble walking in that moment, and just make myself feel better and understand that no, I do have issues no matter what DWP seem to think. And I don't know, maybe someone else with fibro will stumble upon these and feel connected. I don't know, but it's a thing that I want to start trying to do, and I hope everyone's on board with it. If you made it this far, cheers. Bye.